Hey folks, Matt Easton here, Scholar Gladiatorius. So I get asked an awful lot about the Easton Sabre. Where is the Easton Sabre? So I did reviews, and one of the artifacts of YouTube is obviously that if you do a review of something, that review stays online forever unless you take the review down, and sometimes those things go out of production. So indeed, many moons ago, I worked with Peter Regenyei of Regenyei Armory to develop the Easton model of Sabre, and I actually have what I believe was a prototype originally, but still going strong. Well, kind of. I've retired it actually, but it's still in one piece, shall we say. Here, it's a modified grip, incidentally. That's not the grip that they ended up having on them. You know, Peter's blades are fantastic quality, and also he does a good guarantee system, so if things break, he does replace them, so long as it's obviously within a certain period of time after having it. And you know, he makes really good stuff, but there were certain things that Peter couldn't do at the time with the Sabre, so for various reasons I decided to work with another manufacturer to see if I could get something a little bit closer to what I wanted. Subsequently to that, the Easton Sabre from Regenyei Armory has gone out of production. The reason for that is particularly to do with the guards. So Peter had someone making the guards for these Sabres who moved on, left the company and could no longer do them, and so he had to stop making Sabres for a bit, and then he found a new design of Sabre. He currently makes something called the Strong Sabre. I don't know where that name comes from. I have actually been talking to Peter in recent times about maybe doing a new version of the Easton Sabre, which may happen, I don't know. It's only early stages of talking about that. But the Strong Sabre is pretty much the standard Sabre in lots of clubs. And I have to say, people ask me, what Sabre do I currently recommend for people wanting to do military Sabre? And I say to them, go to Regenyei Armory, because there are various offerings around. Denelli Armories does one, Castile Armory does I think several actually, and various others, but for people living in the UK, Regenyei Armory is definitely the most preferable. And also, frankly, you know, the other Sabres, Dark would do one as well, the other Sabres which are being offered are either, there's certain things, I won't go into breaking it down, but there's certain things I don't like about each of them. I have to say the Regenyei, the Strong Sabre, is a little bit heavy, a little bit on the heavy side. It's a bit tip heavy. Don't really like how long the grip is, don't really like how it moves. I'm not a huge fan of the guard, so it's very much not my design, and it's not what I would choose. But of the Sabres which are currently available to buy now, to go online and buy, I would say Regenyei Armory are who I personally recommend, and they're what most of my club mates and my students use. Subsequently to working with Regenyei Armory, I moved on to working with the Night Shop, the Red Dragon brand, and I developed the Easton Sabre, the Red Dragon Easton Sabre, of which this is the prototype, not a prototype, the prototype, which went off to be mass produced in India, as it happens. The guard, incidentally, on this is a bit broken, which is why I've now retired this sword as well. I'm running out of sabres to use. So this was retired. But do you know what? The Red Dragon Easton Sabres, loads of people have said to me, we love how they handled, we obviously loved the price, they were very good, very affordable. We loved how they handled, loved how, you know, when they were good, they were really good. Unfortunately, when they were bad, and when the bad was in terms of quality control. And ultimately, the Night Shop, or the HEMA shop, same company, had to take the executive decision to stop production with that workshop in India who were making these, and indeed the feathers at the time, the longswords, because the quality control was too erratic. Because the quality control was just too erratic, wasn't reliable enough. Some of them were coming out too brittle and snapping. Some of them, in fact, the majority that went wrong, they were too soft and they bent too easily. A bunch got sent to Swordfish, and some bent, some broke. They were just awful, which is a real shame, because this that I'm holding in my hand, you know, is one of the really early ones. And I had, you know, I've had others, and there've been lots in my club that are still going strong, even though they haven't been in production for what, like a couple of years now. And so when they were good, they were really, really good. but unfortunately the quality control wasn't there. So it is really, as I often say, it's really difficult to bring a product to market from design to, from concept to design to prototyping to actually bringing it to market and making it a viable, affordable product. And then you've got quality control to deal with as well. And you know, that Sabre unfortunately was brought down by quality control. Not our fault, not the night shop's fault. Unfortunately, a workshop in India's fault, which we didn't have enough control over. Finally, I did, not finally in fact, but next I started working on another prototype, which is here. And I'm not going to show too much of yet because this is a prototype, one of two that were made. And it's good, but it had issues, okay, and I'm not going to go into why. And subsequently I've been working with a completely different company to develop another one, and really this is an update on that. I am literally in the post now getting a couple of prototypes to start testing on. So hopefully in the foreseeable future there may possibly on the horizon be a new Easton Sabre coming out. You can expect a specially blunted point, flexible blade, a hollow ground blade. The total weight will be between 850 and 800 grams, so it's the weight of a British infantry officer's sabre, and in fact the same as the Gymnasium sabres used in Britain. I understand that's heavier than the Italian ones. That's not my problem. I'm studying British military sabre, so that's what I'm prioritising. It's going to be slightly curved. It will have a bowl hilt made of stainless steel, and it will have a wooden contoured grip. As for how good these turn out, so for me, I'm confident in the design, I'm confident in the flex of the blade. At the moment I'm confident in the hardness of the blade, which will be around 48 to 50 Rockwell, and many things I'm confident about, but what remains to be seen is the quality control and just generally how it stands up to use. So that's to update you where we are now. So the current status quo is that there are new prototypes coming to me right now that are going to be tested over within my club over the next couple of months, maybe month or two. Obviously we break a bit over Christmas, so we won't be getting so much testing over the latter part of December. We only break for 1 week actually, so it's not too bad. And so yeah, we're going to be testing them. So hopefully on the horizon is a new Matt Easton practice sabre for British military sabre, obviously applicable to lots of other military sabre systems. A little bit heavier than what some people want for Italian dueling sabre. But I'm fine with that. Yeah, so it will be in the 850 to 880 gram range. Notice metric there. And it's got a 33-inch blade on it. So there we go. Hopefully it will be great. As it currently stands, if that sabre pans out and if it goes through the tests well, then I will be buying them in batches direct from the manufacturer and I will be selling them myself. I may possibly further down the line look at selling them through a reseller, but that's all up in the air. I'm afraid I don't know costs at the moment. We're going to have to look at the cost of the actual sword, the cost of the shipping, the cost of the taxes, and then obviously to make it worthwhile, a profit margin on top of that, and plus the tax. So I don't really know what the selling point will be yet, but hopefully not like custom price, but it probably won't be the bottom economy range price either. What I'm really concentrated on, because these are practice items, tools, practice weapons that are hopefully going to last for a couple of years at least. So I'm really aiming now for quality, rather than necessarily aiming at the lowest kind of budget price. So the manufacturers I've got making this are good, professional, industrial company, and they should be able to turn out something really good, but they don't have a huge amount of experience with swords. So I've had to guide them all along the way, and it's been a very long and slightly torturous process, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the end result will be worth it in the end, and we'll have some new Sabres we can use. Anyway, I hope that update was interesting and worthwhile and useful. I also posted this information, and well, some of this information I posted on the Facebook page. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, link below, go and give us a like on Facebook. Please subscribe to the channel and click the bell thing for notifications, and I'll see you for the next video. Cheers, folks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We have extra videos on Patreon, and you can follow us on Facebook.